Okie dokie. Okay. Here we are. So welcome everyone. We are like Saturday, September 19, 2015 already today, and we are here together as conscious entrepreneurs. And what that means is that we dedicate time to do our inner work, and we deeply understand how important that aspect is in our lives. That is not anymore the old understanding of having to do it with effort and make it to happen and to pursue, from actions and pushing and effort and struggle. The opposite, we are more and more people on the planet today open to consciousness and to really understand how the laws of creation work, and to really make peace with our desires to have it all or to have it more or to have the lifestyle that every one of us wants to have. And I don't know why I don't show up as a video here. I don't know. Do you see me when I'm talking here? No.
I see you. I see you perfectly.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yes.
Well, I only see you, Candace. I don't know why. But
I see you.
okay. Okay. Well, I have my video here, but I just want to say welcome and to really share with you how much I appreciate to don't be alone on this journey. I believe that the more people we are here, the more chance we have to really change the world that we live in and to make it easier for everybody. And I totally believe that abundant prosperity is a level of consciousness. It's something that we can all open up, learn how to let go, the old consciousness, and to really open up to this one. And I just, one practical thing that I want to say is, the people that are seeing this recording, that you are on the other side, that I have some signs that say some people there, just welcome the same way. But if you want to be on the panel, something that is fun, and yes, you expose yourself a little more, but it's fun to engage with this 100%. Welcome everyone. Try to see if you can mute your microphone. Beautiful, perfect. So we don't have the sound out in the background. So I just wanted to say that remember, if you want to be on the panel, to email Arne, A-R-N-E, at Unlimited Network, so he can send you the perfect link, the link that you need, so then you can be on the panel with us. It's kind of fun to nurture this consciousness, this new consciousness, from engaging and offering our gifts. I think all of us, we are really committed in this journey, and it's wonderful to be together. And one of the things, well, just to say that we are studying this book, we are studying, that I think is pretty high, the energy of, or the teachings of Abraham Hicks. And we are really focusing on the energy of money, but and we are reading this book right now. And I just want to share that last week for me, I mean, this book is, I know I follow Abraham Hicks now for years, but for whatever reason, or I'm more open or deeper, or something's going on here, but I'm really getting deep, how the power that we have to choose our thinking and our approach when we engage with things in life. I know we all know, and I knew too, but I'm impressed on the new learning. It's like I'm educating my entire mind, to really come from a place of empowerment, and increase, instead of like trying to fix something. And it is humbly, I would like to say that it's something that I'm working on. It's like even though I'm kind of very positive girl and all that stuff, when it's a matter of wanting to manifest something or really experiencing something that I would like that something different, I have to stop really and go back to the book and say what she was saying with the little boy, that was waiting the bed, and because the tendency is to get so trapped in what we see, and how can I empower that little boy, instead of diminishing or keeping focusing on what I see, so I will keep manifesting that. So I really see this as a powerful teachings and learnings, and I appreciate so much our commitment for all of us to be here and to master it, so that's why we are here. So after that, I just want to say that I want to welcome Dr. Fran, that is the one that really supports us here, leading us in the reading and making the emphasis on what it is that we are learning. And if you are ready, Dr. Fran, we can jump into this, so after we can comment and to really make, take pen and paper, because the idea here is not only to read the book. I always say that, is to get in touch with what resonates, because every time that you read this book, you're going to get something different. That's what happened to me. So take pen and paper, be ready to write what touches you or what you like to question after, so we can deepen in all together. And here we are, supporting each other, to embody this abundant prosperity consciousness. So then we can experience it. So welcome, Doc Fran, if you can join us. I don't know. Yes.
Well, good morning, everyone. And Monica, thank you. What a lovely introduction. It's always fun to let people know that we're all on this path to enlightenment together, and none of us will ever master it in this lifetime. So that's a reassuring thought, because it always gives you something to look forward to each day. And we're starting out today. We're on page 37, and we start with sleep time is realignment of energies time. While you are sleeping, or during the time that you are not consciously focused through your physical body, the attraction to this physical body stops. Sleep is a time when your inner being can realign your energies, and it is a time for refreshment and replenishment of your physical body. If, when you put yourself in your bed, you will say, quote, "Tonight I will rest well. I know that all attraction to this body will stop, and when I awaken in the morning, I will literally re-emerge back into my physical experience." You will receive the greatest benefit from your time of sleep. Awaking in the morning is not so different from being born. It is not so different from the day you first emerged into your physical body. So as you awaken, open your eyes and say, "Today I will look for reasons to feel good. Nothing is more important than that I feel good. Nothing is more important than that I choose thoughts that attract other thoughts, that attract other thoughts, that raise my vibrational frequency to the place where I can resonate with the positive aspects of the universe." Your vibration is right where you left it. So if you lie in your bed worrying about a situation before you go to sleep, when you awaken, you will pick up right where your thoughts or vibrations left off the night before, and then your thoughts for the day will get off on the negative footing. Then the law of attraction will continue to serve up for you other thoughts that are like those thoughts. But if you make an effort as you go to sleep to identify some of the positive aspects of your life, and then deliberately release your thoughts as you remember that during your slumber, you are going to detach and refresh. And then if, when you awaken, you will open your eyes and say, "Today I will look for reasons to feel good," you will begin to gain control of your thoughts and life. Rather than worrying about the problems of the world or thinking about things that you have to do today, just lie in your bed and look for the positive aspects of the moment. How wonderful this bed feels. How comforting this fabric feels. How good my body feels. How comfortable this pillow is. How refreshing the air is that I'm breathing. How good it is to be alive. You will have begun to pull on that positive, good feeling rope. The law of attraction is like a giant magnifying glass, amplifying whatever is. And so as you awaken and look for some reason, something very immediate to you, to feel good about, the law of attraction will then offer you another thought that feels like it, and then another, and then another, and that is really what we call getting out of bed on the right foot. With a little effort and desire to feel good, you can direct your thoughts to more and more pleasing scenarios until you will change your habits of thoughts as well as your point of attraction. And the evidence of your improvement in thought will begin to show up right away. An example of a positive aspects bedtime process: your action orientation in life causes you to believe that it takes hard work to make things happen. But as you learn to deliberately direct your thoughts, you will discover that there is tremendous leverage and power in thought. As you focus more consistently only in the direction of what you desire, rather than diluting the power of your thought by thinking of the wanted and then the unwanted, you will understand from your personal experience what we mean. Because of your action orientation, You will often try too hard and work too hard. And as a result of that, most of you bring yourselves more to the attention of what is wrong or more to the attention of what needs to be fixed than you do to the attention of what you desire. Here's a good way to apply the process of positive aspects at bedtime. Once you're in your bed, try to recall some of the most pleasant things that happened during the day. Since many things have undoubtedly happened during this day, you may have to ponder a little while and you remember some less than pleasant things that happened, but stick to your intention of finding something pleasing. Then when you find it, ponder it. Prime your positive pump by saying such things as, the thing I liked most about that was, my favorite part of that was. Follow any positive thread that you find, thinking about the best parts of your day. And then once you are feeling the effect of your positive thoughts, focus on your dominant intention right now, getting a good night's sleep and awaking refreshed in the morning. Say to yourself, I'm going to sleep now, and why I'm sleeping because my thoughts will be inactive, attraction will stop, and my physical body will be completely refreshed at every level. Turn your attention to the immediate things around you, like the comfort of your bed, the softness of your pillow, the well-being of your moment, and then softly set forth the intention. I will sleep well, and I will awaken refreshed with another new, good-feeling, positive point of attraction. And then, off to sleep. An example of a positive aspects morning process. As you awaken the next morning, you will be in that positive, good-feeling place, and your first thoughts will be something like, I'm awake. I've reemerged back into the physical. Lie there for a little while and bask in the comfort of your bed, and then offer a thought such as, today, no matter where I'm going, no matter what I am doing, no matter who I'm doing it with, it is my dominant intent to look for things that feel good. When I feel good, I am vibrating with my higher power. When I feel good, I'm in harmony with that which I consider to be good. When I feel good, I am in the mode of attracting that which will please me once it gets here. And when I feel good, I feel good. It is good just to feel good if the only thing it ever brought to you is the way you feel in the moment. But it brings ever so much more beyond that. We would lie in the bed for 2 or 3 minutes. That's enough. And we would look for the positive aspects of our surroundings. And then as we move into the day, we begin to acknowledge more positive aspects, looking for reasons to feel good no matter what the object of our attention is. In the first moment of any negative emotion, which very likely will occur even though you've begun your day looking for reasons to feel good, because there is, upon some subjects, some negative momentum already in motion. Upon the first inclination of a negative emotion, we would stop and say, I want to feel good. I'm feeling some negative emotion, which means that I'm focused upon something I do not want. What is it that I want? And we would turn our attention immediately to that which we want, staying focused upon the new thought or the positive thought long enough that we would feel the positive energy again beginning to flow through our apparatus. As you move through your day, look for more reasons to laugh and more reasons to have fun. When you want to feel good, you do not take things so seriously. And when you are not taking things so seriously, you're not as likely to notice the lack of things wanted. And when you're not focusing upon the lack of what you desire, you feel better. And when you feel better, you attract more of what you want. And your life just gets better and better. And then that night, as you lie in your bed, you will have many wonderful things to ponder as you drift off into your restful, refreshing sleep. And then you will awaken into an even better feeling new day tomorrow. I know how I want to feel. Sometimes when you're in the midst of an uncomfortable situation, you struggle to find any positive aspects within it. Some things are intolerable. Some things are so big and so bad that it does not seem possible for you to find anything positive about them. But that is because you are attempting to take too large a jump from the awfulness of what you're focused upon to the solution that you desire. In other words, if you want to find an action solution right now that will fix this, but you find yourself in a situation where no action that you can take seems appropriate, always remember that while there may not be a positive aspect to your action in this moment, while you may not be able to figure out what to do that would make you feel better, you always know how you want to feel. It's a bit like saying it's a bit like someone saying, I've just jumped out of an airplane and I have no parachute. What should I do now? There are situations where, given the current circumstances, there is no action or thought at this point will make a significant enough difference to change the outcome that is barreling in upon you. And in the same way that sometimes you cannot find any action that will fix things, there is no thought that will immediately change it either. But if you understand the power of your thought and the incredible leverage that consistently good feeling thoughts provide, and you begin deliberately choosing your thoughts by utilizing the guidance that your feelings or emotions indicate, you can easily transform your life into predominantly good feeling experiences by focusing upon the improved feeling. If you are able to find even the smallest feeling of relief in a deliberately chosen thought, your gentle path towards your solution will begin. What to do in certain circumstances or certain situations may not be clear to you, and you may at times not even be able to identify what it is that you want to have. But there is never a time that you are unable to identify to some extent how you want to feel. In other words, you know that you would rather feel happy than sad, refreshed than tired, invigorated rather than enervated. You know that you would rather feel productive than unproductive, free than confined, growing than stagnant. There is not enough action available to compensate for misaligned thought. But when you begin to gain control of the way you feel by more deliberately choosing the direction of your thought, you will discover the powerful leverage in thought. If you will bring yourself to a more deliberate control of your own thought, you will bring yourself to a more deliberate control of your own life experience. Nothing is more important than feeling good. Becoming more deliberate about the things you think about is not a difficult thing. You are often particular about what you eat, the vehicle you drive, the clothes you wear, and being a deliberate thinker does not require much more deliberate discrimination than that. But learning to deliberately direct your thoughts towards the aspect of the subject that feels best to you will have a much greater impact on the improvement in your life than in choosing of a meal, vehicle, or wardrobe. Once you read these words and feel your own personal resonance with their meaning and power, you will never again feel negative emotion without realizing that you're receiving important guidance to assist you in guiding your thoughts in a more productive and beneficial direction. In other words, you will never again feel negative emotion and not understand that it means you are in the process of attracting something unwanted. A significant thing is happening with you as you're coming into conscious awareness of your emotions and the guidance that they provide. Because even in your ignorance of what negative emotion meant, you were still negatively attracting. And so understanding your emotions now gives you control of your life experience. Whenever you are feeling less than good, if you will stop and say, nothing is more important than that I feel good. I want to find a reason now to feel good. Then you will find an improved thought, which will lead to another and another. As you develop the habit of looking for good feeling thoughts, the circumstances that surround you must improve. The law of attraction demands it. When you feel good, you experience the sensation of doors opening as the universe is cooperating with you. And when you feel bad, it feels as if the doors are closing and the cooperation stops. Anytime you feel negative emotion, you are in the mode of resisting something that you want. And that resistance takes its toll on you. It takes its toll on your physical body. And it takes its toll on the amount of wonderful things that you are allowing to come into your experience. Through your process of living life and noticing things wanted and unwanted, you have created a sort of vibrational escrow, which in a sense holds for you those wanted things you've identified until you become a close enough vibrational match to them that you allow yourself a fully manifested receiving of them. But until you find a way to feel good about them, even though they have not yet manifested in your experience, it may seem to you that they are on the outside of a door that you cannot open. However, as you begin to look for more positive aspects regarding the things that occupy your thoughts, and you deliberately choose the more positive end of the stick of possibilities regarding the subjects that dominate your thought processes, that door will open, and everything that you desire will flow easily into your experience. It gets better the better it gets. When you deliberately seek positive aspects of whatever you are giving your attention to, you, in a sense, tune your vibrational tuner to a more positive aspect of everything. And, of course, you could tune yourself negatively as well. Many people struggle in an attitude of self-criticism as a result of negative comparison that has been directed to them from parents or teachers or peers. And there is nothing more detrimental to your ability to positively attract than a negative attitude toward yourself. So, sometimes by choosing a subject about which you have practiced fewer negative thoughts, you can tune yourself to a better feeling frequency. And then from that better feeling place, as you redirect your thoughts toward yourself, you will find positive aspects about yourself than usual. When you find more positive aspects of the world that surrounds you, you will begin to find the more positive aspects about yourself. And once that happens, finding more aspects about your world will be easier still. When you find things about yourself that you do not like, you will find more of those things in others. You say, the worse it gets, the worse it gets. But as you are deliberately looking for positive aspects in yourself or in others, you will find more of those things. The better it gets, the better it gets. We cannot overemphasize the value in looking for positive aspects and focusing upon more of things wanted, because everything that comes to you is dependent upon that very simple premise. You get more and more of what you are thinking about, whether you want it or not. My universe is positively and negatively balanced. So, you are the creator of your experience. Or you could say that you are the attractor of your experience. Creating is not about identifying something wanted and then going after it and capturing it. Creating is about focusing upon the subject of desire, tuning your thoughts more precisely to the aspects of the subject that you would like to experience, and therefore allowing the law of attraction to bring it to you. Whether you are remembering something from the past, imagining something about the future, or observing something from your now, you are offering thought vibrations that the law of attraction is responding to. You may refer to your thoughts as desires or beliefs. A belief is only a thought you continue to think. But whatever you are giving your attention to is establishing your point of attraction. Because every subject is actually two subjects, what is wanted and the lack of what is wanted. It is possible to believe that you are positively focused when in fact you are negatively focused. People may say, I want more money, but what they are actually focused upon is the fact that they do not have as much money as they need. Most people talk most often about their desire to be healthy when they are feeling sick. In other words, their attention to what they do not want is what's prompting their remarks about what they do want. But in the majority of cases, even though they may be speaking words that seem to indicate that they're focused upon their desire, they are not. It is only by consciously recognizing how you are feeling while you are speaking that you really know if you are positively or negatively attracting. And while you may not see immediate evidence of what you are in the process of attracting, whatever you are thinking about is matching thoughts, vibrations, and energies. And eventually the evidence of your attraction will be obvious. My universe responds to my attention too. Most people believe or want to believe that everything in the universe responds to their words in the same way that other people around them can sometimes be trained to behave. When you tell someone, yes, come to me, you expect them to come. When you say, no, go away from me, you expect them to go. But you live in an attraction-based universe, an inclusion-based universe, which simply means that there is no such thing as no. When you give your attention to something wanted and you say, yes, come to me, you include it in your vibration. And when the law of attraction begins the process of bringing it, but when you look at something unwanted and say, no, I do not want you, go away, the universe brings that also. Your attention to it, and therefore your vibrational alignment with it, is what is causing the response, not your words. And so, as you say, perfect health, I seek you, I want you, I bask in the idea of perfect health, you are attracting health. But as you say, sickness, I do not want you, you are attracting sickness. As you say, no, 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 it is coming closer, 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 because the more you struggle against something you do not want, the more engulfed in it you become. People often believe that once they find their perfect mate or achieve their perfect body weight or accumulate enough money, then once and for all, they will find the happiness that they seek. But nowhere is there a little corner of something where only positive aspects exist. The perfect balance of the universe says that positive and negative, wanted and unwanted, exist in all particles of the universe. When you, as the creator, the chooser, the definer, the decider, look for the positive aspect, that becomes what you live in all aspects of your life. You do not have to wait around for that perfect thing to show itself to you so that you can then have a positive response to it. Instead, you positively train your thoughts and vibrations, and then you become the attractor of it or the creator of it. We would encourage you to begin each day with the statement, today, no matter where I go, no matter what I am doing, and no matter who I am doing it with, it is my dominant intent to look for what I am wanting to see. Remember, when you awaken in the morning, you are reborn. While you have slumbered, all attraction has stopped. That sequestering away for a few hours of sleep where your consciousness is no longer attracting gives you a refreshing new beginning. And so unless you wake up in the morning and begin regurgitating what troubled you the day before, it will not trouble you in your new day, in your new birth, in your new beginning. Decisions to feel good attract good feelings. A woman said to us, I recently found out that I'm going to be attending 3 or 4 holiday parties. And as soon as I heard that, I started thinking, oh, Mary's going to be there and she's going to be gorgeous. I started immediately comparing myself to other people. I'd like to stop doing that and feel good about me and just enjoy the parties no matter who's there. Could you help me apply the process of pivoting in positive aspects regarding my self-consciousness? I really don't even want to attend these parties. We explained. While your feeling of self-consciousness is amplified as you consider your attendance of these parties, neither the party nor Mary is the reason for your discomfort. It often seems complicated to sort out your relationships with other people, even tracing the beginning of these feelings back into your childhood. But there is no value in doing that. You have the ability from right where you stand to find positive aspects or negative aspects, to think of the wanted or unwanted, and whether you begin the process right now or several days before you attend your first party, or whether you wait until you are at the party, the work is the same. Look for things that feel good when you focus upon them. Because you have more control over what is activated in your own mind, it is usually much easier to find the positive aspect of a situation before you're standing right in the middle of it. If you do imagine the situation as you want it to be, and you do practice your positive response to the upcoming situation, then when you are at the party, you will witness the control that you set into motion days before. You cannot feel good and bad at the same time. You cannot focus upon wanted and unwanted at the same time. If you have trained your thoughts to what you consider to be good or wanted before you arrive at a party, the law of attraction will deliver to you things that feel good and are wanted. It is really that simple. If you want to feel different at those upcoming parties than you have felt at parties in previous years, you must begin telling a different story. The story you've been telling goes something like this. I'm only invited to these parties because of my relationship with my mate. It really isn't important to anyone that I be there. I'm not really a part of his work environment, and I don't really understand most of the things that they're interested in. I'm an outsider. Mary doesn't feel like an outsider like I do. Her confidence is obvious in the way she dresses and carries herself. I always feel less attractive, less smart, less everything when I'm near Mary. I hate feeling like this. I wish I didn't have to go. Here's an example of an attempt at a better feeling story. My mate is well respected at his firm. It's nice that his company occasionally provides the opportunity for people who work there to include their spouses and to get to know one another. No one there expects me to be up to speed with the inner workings of that environment. In fact, this will be a party where they will probably enjoy thinking about things other than their work. Life is much larger than what happens at my husband's office. And since I'm never there, I may very well appear to be a breath of fresh air to many of them because I'm not bogged down in the things they're troubled about. Mary seems light and friendly. She's clearly not bogged down in office politics or problems. It's fun to watch her. She's interesting. I wonder where she buys her clothing. They're very pretty things that she wears. You see, it's not necessary that you sort out every insecurity that you have ever felt and use this office party as a means to solve it. You just find something positive to focus on and feel the benefit of having done so. And in time, Mary will be a non-issue, or maybe a friend. But in any case, it is your decision to make and your vibrational practice to make it so. Well, that's a chock-full series of readings. So, Monica, let me turn the call back over to you to see what we do with this today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Doctor. I mean, this is amazing. I'm like, like shaking inside. It sounds so easy. And then I feel so many times, trapped, because really at the end, what we are learning here is complete detachment to our own minds, because when I think something, I'm like so on that something that is kind of hard to switch, and I love the empowerment that I can see here. Like, it's just a play, it's like, let's keep playing here. What can I think to feel good? And so that's something that I'm practicing, learning, and I believe that we need to practice to change it. Especially when I see myself into the negative, upset or hurt or something like that. For me, it's not so easy to switch. But the more I understand why and how the law of attraction and who I am in this case as a creator, the more fun, the more easier, the more, big opening is happening here. So thank you so much, Dr. for offering this, not only the book, but the reading itself. And then another little question mark that I have, is like, because I heard this on my mirror, it's almost like, yeah, you look for feeling good, but what about the other people? And I know mentally very well, the best support that I can give to the other people and to the entire universe, I will say, is to vibrate high, so that will uplift everybody. But keep having this content, of being selfish and, like you don't really care about others or about the news or about the world, because I choose to don't see that, to don't put my attention there, And it's interesting that dance inside myself. So I would love to hear from you, how do you feel about applying these teachings and how comfortable you are already, and any idea that can inspire us to really go for it. I think we are all going for it, but I mean to play more, to make this learning, lighter. And I can see here that we have Celio. The microphone is open. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, I just want to pick it up from what you're saying because I think it's extremely important. When we try, I think the pattern that you're talking about is the pattern of caretaking. So because we're very, we have this very ingrained this pattern of caretaking. So we care about others, and then subconsciously in the moment we care a lot, and that other person, that other people or situation are in a negative environment or vibration, we are one with that negative vibration. So I think it's extremely important what Abraham and Esther talk about in these lines, because it really is so important just to allow to be in your good vibration no matter what and no matter who, because you're not going to be of any help to that person or that situation if you become empathist. You sympathize with that vibration, and it used to happen to me all the time with some members of my family. Actually, these days that I haven't been able to come to the masterminds, but have been like a laboratory of practice, of enormous practice, a lot of Abraham, and I have a situation that is very specific with a member of my family that, I was like, no, I don't want to get into that negative frame of mind. It's because, the mind tricks you. It's like empathizing, you become more sympathetic. You become that caretaker. No way. The time for caretaking is over. And Esther Hicks is saying that, and everybody's saying that, we just can't afford to empathize that way. We want to be good coaches and good professionals in whatever we are, mostly, in this line of business, so-called. So for me, another core issue that Dr. Fran, this chapter is so important. I don't know where to start, but just to focus on something. When Abraham, not because he's channeling through Esther, talks about creating, I think it's so fundamental what he said. When she explains, I will just read it again because I think it's totally essential. What Dr. Fran read, or when talking about creating is not about identifying something wanted and then going after it and capturing it. Creating is about focusing upon the subject of desire, tuning your thoughts more precisely to the aspects of the subject that you would like to experience, and therefore allowing the law of attraction to bring it to you. And then, of course, a little later, he read about, Abraham was saying about polarities, because in everything we want, there is the other side that we don't want. And it's so subtle to get into the feeling of the not wanting. Yet, I want this situation, I want this money, I want this business deal done, I want whatever, this growing, for example, for me, I want this learning center, and then at the same time I want it, there's something there, there's a feeling of, it's scared, it's the not want, and I have to be so, I don't know how to say it, like so laser focused on realizing, and this is what is helping us, this mastermind, this reading, I think is essential, just to understand that difference of that focus that is negative, and then not getting into that, and then into the want, not into the don't want, but into the want. I'm making it strong. I'm doing all the incredible exercises that Abraham is, in this book and in other books, just to learn how to focus on what I want. Because it seems like what you said, Monica, so easy, but it's extremely subtle. It's not to say difficult, I don't like that word, but it's very subtle, and you really need a focus, laser focus, attention, and intention, and not always in the action, because we are so used to confuse intention and action, and then we're trapped again. So this is like an unlearning. What I find this incredible book is like an unlearning, and anything to do with Abraham is like unlearning, just to know how to operate in a different way, just to know how to operate according to my vibration, and being so aware, and sometimes I can get into a negative, and then it's not the problem. The problem is not realizing that. and then you create the change. But if it's done on time, and this is what I experienced when I twice in this fortnight that I was in Madrid, surrounded by situations that seemed to be complicated. It reminded me of the party that Dr. Fran just read. It was like the first trip was like a constant party, such parties, like, oh my God, this and that and this person. And then when I saw myself in that frame of mind, thanks to reading these lines, I immediately changed the vibration. And it's like magic, because everything changes around you. It's not like you have to, oh, is this the right vibration? Is this the right, I want, not want? No, you realize, because around you, by magic, everything changes. The energy changes, and everything unfolds in such a different way that feels well, because basically what we're studying today is just so important to feel well. We can be multimillionaires, we can make the most incredible business deals, we can have the most incredible friends, houses, cars, and situations, but if we're not feeling well, we're not attracting wealth of being, we're attracting the opposite, and sooner or later we're going to be trapped. So I just love, what Dr. Fran read today, because I think it really is essential. But if I want, and another thing that he read that for me is essential is when Abraham says, today when I wake up, no matter what I do, and no matter with whom I am, and no matter how I feel, it's my dominant, that's very important, intention to find good in everything that I do. It's absolutely crucial. I read that every day, and it changes the day. It's so powerful. I just read it, and it changes, because it's very easy to wake up and have all these things in the head, and then, So those 3 lines, dominant intention to see in everything I do, and no matter who I am, and no matter what, just to see the good, just to see the good part, the part that I want to see. Just to see what I want to see. This is, I love it. I just enjoy myself so much today.
Wow, thank you, Celio. Passionate, I can see you mastering that, walking it, and that's, I think, to me, is the best inspiration. Thank you so much for that inspiration, and I totally, I'm dancing with you here, because it is a practice, and to really, have that intention to feel good in every situation, and to be the, it's funny, because this is the age where I was seeing about the selfishness, because my job here is to feel good, period, and it's like, really? But what happened if the neighbor, is not feeling good? Well, you know what? He has the power to feel good. So to me, I think I inspire more if I feel good. The question is, do I feel good, So I'm like, oh my gosh, dancing all of that. So thank you so much. And I was thinking too, I got touched with your, this aspect you were saying about taking care of everybody around, and in the business, to me, lately, I'm more and more clear, to allow, the clarity, what it is that I really want, what makes me feel good in my business, with who I really want to work with, what is the character, and I'm starting to bathe, myself with this idea. And I'm trusting more and more, and thanks to these books, like more and more that's what's going to come to me, So just entertain myself in being part of this incredible team. We are all super excited and super successful and super committed and super passionate. So and I go on, and I start to feel really, really good about what I do, So thank you, Celio. Your passion is very, very valuable. Thank you. Anybody else that would like to open the microphone, give us some wisdom here, your own gift? Yes, Mr. Arne. 1 second.
Yes. Yeah, it's very inspiring to hear Abraham Hicks and this book, and Celio and Doc Fran, and I'm just sitting here. Many things are coming in, but. We are 45 minutes now into this call, and we have not been cut off on the internet. And that's the first time in 3 months, every 15 minutes. And I've been working diligently every day in that I have perfect internet, I have a new perfect computer, and I have a perfect internet connection. And today it seems to manifest itself. I don't know why, but except for that kind of thinking. That kind of thinking, yeah, putting it. And then Celia was talking about, like, we want to be in that positive thinking. My intention is to be the dominantly thinking good things and feel. Yeah, that's easy to say, but then on the other side it goes, yeah, but only when I spend 5 minutes and look at the news or complain about that little thing, and then I come back to myself. So there is that attraction or habit to correct what we think is not a good thing, and that time is actually the destructive time, and it goes. But it's a little. I find it with myself and what I observe. It's difficult to do that switch, even if I know it. Just give me 5 minutes to complain, okay? You know, but that kills me, you know, and to not do that, that's a tough one, and like this chapter is talking about, you go to sleep, and then you disconnect with your body, and that's kind of a big, it touches me, how we go into another world, and then by some kind of strings we come back to the same body in the morning. But to put ourselves in a good frame of mind as we go to sleep, and I like to do the habit of spending a few minutes of gratitude for the day, and when I go to bed, and the first thing in the morning when I wake up, maybe 5 things that I'm successes. Actually, the other way around. The evening is the successes of the day, and the morning is the gratitude of what I have. So that's kind of a good exercise to do. But to me, I still feel like I'm not complete with what happens with myself, me, the I, when I sleep. And that becomes, I guess, a spiritual search. I know saints, in my perception, they can manifest anything they want just instantly. They just, if they want something, it's right there. And I think it's the same theory here. They don't. The reason they can do that is because they don't have one opposing thought. I want that, and there is nothing opposing it, and here it goes. And for us, when we say things do not happen instantly, and we are grateful that all our thoughts are not answered immediately, because some of them are not so good, and it takes a time. But according to this theory, that what you think is created, and this time lag, I think it's just a matter of how many opposing thoughts you have to it, or how many distractive thoughts you have. You know, the example of the elephant being in your room, and it can be, but my mind immediately clicks in, no, that's not possible, blah 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 blah. Or I get distracted. Well, the elephants, they belong to the zoo, or Africa or India or whatever. So that stops it. But if I didn't have those thoughts, if I was a little baby, you know, I would see maybe a small elephant or something like it would manifest. So cleaning up our what we spend time on. It strikes me over and over in this book that our manifestations are what we is what we attract, the results. I think it's even simpler than that. It's I mean, it's impossible to see something I'm not looking at. It might, well, you attract, well, it might be right behind me, but I'm looking the other direction, so I don't see it. So my focus, I have to focus on to be, even if it's here, and I don't, when different people are together, they don't see the same things because they are focused on different things. So we have to be really, really aware of where is our focus, because that is what we see. And that's me from today, or for now.
Thank you, Arne. Thank you, passionate too. Woo-hoo. Here we are, very alive. You see, no? But I love so many things that you said. One of the things that kicked me here was the conscious entrepreneur. No, you were saying something about letting go. The complaining aspect that the collective, is addicted. I mean, an aspect of myself, goes there very, very quick. But to be aware, I think I just want to acknowledge that, Arne, is when we can just stop it right there, what it is that I really want, and have the courage to start to think on that direction, So thank you for just the practice. I love to see us human beings here to walk the path, So thank you. And I can see you, Candace, the microphone open. Welcome, welcome.
Yes, this little section was very, very wonderful for me. There's one paragraph in there where Abraham is saying, once you've read this, you will never again have a negative emotion without understanding that you're on your way to creating something that you do not want. You will not have that happen again. You will always understand from henceforth. So they said it differently, but I was so overjoyed and relieved to know that now my mind will always know that it will always know what direction I'm thinking in, and I will understand where my thoughts are taking me to an extent. So I just wanted to say I took a moment and thought about this, and I see all of us really integrating that fact and understanding and going through the development of our strength of focus, what Arne just said, being aware of what we're focusing on. And then what Thelio was talking about was the subtlety of that awareness, the challenge of staying present with our thoughts so that we'll help them take a turn for the better, or that we'll maybe remain silent in a situation but thinking a better thought while something is happening in front of us, or however we do it, that we will all together, that as we improve our thinking, how much nicer the world will be. What a better place to be as more of us take charge of our beautiful thoughts and help keep them beautiful. So I love you. That's what I'm thinking about today.
Thank you, Candace. Beautiful flower you are. And yes, I totally see this new world, opening up with our new thinking. So good. We are more and more people. Heidi, I can see you open here. Welcome.
Hi. What another great week. I shouldn't just say great week. It's another great week. Well, I chuckled in the beginning because as we first started reading, it was confirmation for me. On one of my walls, every time I come up with a new product idea, we write it down, and it was a confirmation on one of the product ideas that I had that we tried to make, but I couldn't get the press to print properly. So when I make them, you guys all have to give me your address, and you're going to get one just because you're going to love these pillowcase blessings. It's going to be really cool. So then the other thing, I don't know if you guys have ever watched the movie What the Bleep Do We Know? And there's Dr. Joe Dispenza in there. And I went to one of his workshops once, and he gave us a copy of the meditation that he does, and he calls it, I love the name, he calls it the rehearsal, which is basically, he talks you through a meditation of you just believing and focusing and imaging and feeling the life you want. And because it's a rehearsal, rehearse what you want, putting yourself into that vibration, And so for some people that, because we all have friends that we think would really benefit from this, but the word vibration would be too out there for them, But if you can, that's what I loved about the word rehearsal, because it's, if you can rehearse the life you want, then the joy will come, because you're putting yourself into that feeling state, and it's easier to attract. And in the meditation, what's cool is, like as Arnie was saying, sometimes I just want the 5 minutes to just say the negativity, and I usually allow people. I say just give your venting time. And what he does in the meditation is he has you do a whole little series called Stop It. So you picture when that thought comes up, and then you say stop. Then you picture it again, stop. Picture it again and stop. Boom. Now you've released, and at least given it its day in the sun. It's 5 minutes of fame, and then now that you've cleared that energy that you were suppressing, let it out, and then it allows the better energy that you're going to focus on to work with, which is so cool. And so it's so fun how it all integrates. And I loved that right at the very, very end, where this lady about going to the party, where she says, I may very well appear to be a breath of fresh air to many of them, reminded me of a movie that I had just seen, and Melanie Griffith played a character, and she was a ditzy blonde, a girlfriend of this senator who turned out to be a not so nice guy. And she was taking a law class, and he just thought that she was stupid. And she's at dinner with all these other senators, and somebody had mentioned like one of the Fifth Amendment. And she says, oh, well, that's not the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment is this. And all the senators are looking at her and go, no, that's the Seventh Amendment. The other one says, no, that's the Fifth. And one of them stood up and he says, she's right. It is the Fifth Amendment. How did you remember? And her boyfriend's going, sit down, nobody wants to hear from you. And they said, yes, we do. She says, well, I made it into a song like the 12 Days of Christmas. She stood up, taught all the senators this song about how she remembers them, and it was that's what came to my mind when it says, maybe I'm that breath of fresh air in the stuffy senator's luncheon. So this was that was fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Fresh air. We are going to call you from now on. Beautiful. I mean, I can see, that we can choose to be that, or to be, down and dance and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so thank you so much for empowering and your excitement. I mean, this aliveness that we are here, I think we are very alive people and passionate, and I love, that we can really start to master. I think we are mastering. I mean, this is a mastery, of our being, of the creators that we are. I mean, it's like finally, I was yearning for that my entire life. So I feel a lot of gratitude at this moment. And I would like to open, before I close here the entire call here, Doc Fran, I would love to hear if you have something to comment. Let's see if you open the microphone there. Or, can you hear me? Yes. I cannot hear. Yes. Welcome, Dr. Frank.
Yeah. Good morning. Yeah. Excellent. I always love the consciousness that occurs during the conversations after the readings, and my only little comment on it is I mean, I started 14 months ago because I realized that no matter how much I was trying to stay in a positive frame of mind, the relentless barrage of life and trying to, drive companies to a point where I thought I needed them to go, was winning. I was backsliding, and I was miserable. And so I just made, all of a sudden I realized that, if I have to reach for a better thinking thought, I've got to get out of the situation, the condition I'm in, which is doing nothing but reinforcing and manifesting every negative thought that I didn't want. So I just stopped everything. I made the decision to retire. And I've mentioned a number of times on this call that all I was really focused on was just feeling good all day long, all the time, about everything. And it took a while to allow that to transform and change in my life, but it did. So to Arne's comments, to Celia, to all of us, we are human. I mean, we can't escape that reality of our nature. And we're all subject to basically the same constant barrage and training that feeling negative is the right way to feel, because by God, that's what most of us get more of all the freaking time. And so, the message is that is unfortunately entirely normal and entirely understandable. And how do you deal with it then? If you accept that as a way that we're immediately going to think when we try and think positively? Well, you have to be kind to yourself, and you just have to go when that counter thought occurs, when the counter intention, because for every intention there's a counter intention, for every action there's a counter action, etc. When that counter thought occurs, you simply go, oh, thank you, you again. Listen, I appreciate it. I know you're trying to protect me, but I don't need you anymore. I'm actually kind of enjoying the positive feeling thought. And when you can laugh at yourself, when you can forgive yourself, when you can allow yourself to backslide without recrimination, without guilt, without regret, without blame, without all of the, that is the very cascade of like thoughts that Abraham is talking about. And rather than even allow the negative cascade to occur, the immediate positive thought is, oh, thank God I thought of that right away. Thank God I'm conscious enough to understand that a negative thought is an indication that I'm thinking about something I don't want. And man, it makes it so crystal clear then what I do want, and I can really think about how I would feel about manifesting what I do want. And I hope that makes a little sense to you, because that's really how I've gotten into this point now where I really do appreciate the abundance of everything in my life, and I'm really less and less and less focused at any point in time at having a lack thought. And that's that's a powerful training in today's lesson, is reinforcing the reality that expressing what you want is very often the negative side of focusing on the lack of what you perceive yourself to want. So with that, it's back to you guys, because I've got an abundance of beautiful panelists here to learn from every week.
Thank you so much, Doc Fran. But it's so true. I mean, and to see us, to see you, to have you in my mirror means like I'm very close to that. So thank you so much for that. And one thing that I wanted to say, is like we have like a lot of tools to practice. Well, before I want to say that, I want to say also that the more you have or in my experience, when I ask for something very concrete, like, I don't know, we live in the jungle here in Costa Rica, and we had a friend that lent us her car for a year and a half. It was incredible, miracle, amazing. I mean, suddenly we have a car, because I'm going to talk for me, but never wanted to buy a car here because I want to go back to Florida, so I don't want to anchor myself more here. So, okay, and then like 1 month ago or 2 months ago, she needed a car. So of course, and she came, and I remember she was crying, oh my gosh, I left you without car. And I think, listen, I'm so grateful, please, like take it, enjoy it. And that was her car. It's like amazing. And so she took the car, and we were without the car here. And, I could fight it, or I could be pissed off, or I was in total surrendering. And every day I do my list of desires and my list of forgiveness and my list of gratitude. That's something that I'm practicing every day, and it's really changing my life, I would say. The thing is that one day I write on my notebook, about desires, I want that car. I want a four-wheel drive, because we live in the mountain, like in the whatever, four-wheel drive car right here at OMV now. And I wrote that now. When I wrote that now, my entire body was like, oh, you know, like I felt like, ooh, that's something new energy here, you know. And that was one day, and then next day I wrote it again, and then I could imagine the car, no idea what car it was, you know, right there, blah, blah. The thing is, at the same time that I was asking, I was also becoming aware. That's what I love to do, the forgiveness at the same time, you know, my lists. I was becoming aware of, yes, but, you know, like, I mean, how can you believe that something's going to come from the universe, from the sky, from the original substance right here, a car, boom, you know, for you. So all the thoughts that could not believe it, you know, that were showing up, and I was releasing them, forgiving, blah, blah. Well, 3 weeks later, or how long, I don't know, 1 month after or something like that, we have a Nissan Terra, whatever it is, that is super amazing car, like right there, landed from a friend, so we can take care of the car, because they don't live in Costa Rica, they live in United States, so it's a benefit from both sides, and we don't use the car like so much, like going traveling or anything like that. So suddenly I see the car, and when I got the car, another layer of thought, you know, about, you know, my gosh, you know, is that true? You know, this kind of unbelieving, you know, that the worthiness, they're not deserving it. And I was so happy to have these tools, you know, about I'm aware of, great, you know, let it go, like you were saying, Dr. Fran, right now, you know, thank you so much for sharing, you know, I know that is the old Monica, you know, the little one, the poor me, the blah, 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 you know, and here I am, you know, claiming the entire universe that is who I am, right? So I just wanted to share that, because I can see, you know, the learning and the dancing, and we are not, you know, I think the privilege of walking this consciously and supporting each other is an incredible gift. So I love you guys very, very much. And before I close this, just to say that last week we were impacted with a practice that was the positive aspects, the book of positive aspects. So I don't know how many of you had practiced, but to me, really propelled me to do more what I was doing here. So I love it, and I feel very good. And this week, let's try, and we share what happened this next Saturday, when we go to sleep consciously, invoking, letting go, you know, our identification with the body, and letting go and let the body rest, and gratitude for the day, and then wake up with this freshness that Abraham Hicks is inspiring us to really take our power back and to master that. Today is going to be a good day, you know, and how can I feel good? And to have that as the big intention, you know, how can I feel good in this situation, or with this or with that? So with that, guys, I let you to... yes, Dr. Fran, welcome.
Monica, thank you. I really wanted to reinforce. You said something so incredibly powerful there, and it completes the thought that I was trying to articulate here this morning, and that is that surrender, the idea of surrendering to what is. And there's a huge difference from surrendering to what is and accepting it than liking what is. We don't need to like feeling like crap about something. You know, that's not the point of the exercise. That's, you know, it's not deluding yourself into thinking that, you know, oh, this shitty thought that I'm having isn't so bad. Well, it is bad. You just surrender to it and accept it. Say, thanks, I just had this shitty thought. That's really cool, because that means there's a good thought coming. So, you know, that was so brilliant at what you said, and that's truly, I mean, we've been trained by Abraham, we've been trained by Catherine Ponder before this series about the power of surrendering, accepting, and being what is, and not making judgments about it, because that's all, you know, it's when we make these value judgments, that's where our negative emotions stem from. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you. You know, Jesus, I mean, we can go on and on here for days, I believe, but you give me a great seed, you know, that I think I'm nurturing right now, and is that, you know, surrender to me, I think is easier today, because I really have in my mental conditioning or new way of thinking, if you want, that, you know, if something is out of my way, it's because something better is coming. And I remember I heard that, you know, in the past many times, but I start to believe it. And so it was very easy to me, okay, this is the way it is right now, but what it is that I want a car right here, like I want a car, no idea how, but here. And I think as a conscious entrepreneurs, we are switching, from this doing imbalanced, because I love the doing action, the inspired action that comes because we are alive. It's inevitable to do things, The only difference is that from the old paradigm, we sweat, and we have to. And from the new paradigm, you relax, you know how the universe works, and you take actions from this new place where is a creativity, really, is passionate. The intention is to feel good in what we do, or what I do. So I love that we are mastering this, guys. Thank you so much for your presence, your wisdom, your commitment, guys, the ones that you are in this side, the ones that you are listening to the recording. I just want to say, if you want to be on the panel again, write to Arne, A-R-N-E, I will say now, Candace, yes, A-R-N-E @unlimitednetwork.com. And for the ones that you are reading the book, I want you to know that next week we will start on page 43. So that's it for today. So this is the book, remember, and page 43 for next time. So have a wonderful, abundant, prosperous week. And let's practice the good night and the good morning consciously. And see you next Saturday.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.